Hello, everyone. Welcome to all of you to yet a beautiful program of meditation tonight. It is day 40, and as yesterday we spoke about the Sahasrara chakra and we meditated on imbibing its divine qualities. Today we are going to talk about the divine qualities of all the energy centers. If you're joining us for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. Please let us know about it in the chat box. You can send a message to the help desk and we will assign you to a breakout room. If you've been joining us for quite some time, but you still do not have a mentor, we strongly recommend you to get one, as it will make your spiritual journey, very joyful and smooth. So there is a link in the chat. You can check that for filling up a mentor survey form, and we will definitely make sure that you get assigned to a mentor. There is also very good news for all of us today. Some of you would already be knowing about it. As we are going to come to an end of this second series of meditations, which is titled Going Deep. We are going to end the sessions this Friday, but because so many of you have expressed their interest and their desire to continue meditating and to continue going deep into the practice of Sahaj Yoga meditation, we are going to have a new series of 21 days, which is basically a continuation to whatever we have learned so far. And as I'm sure you would have discovered already, there is this beautiful ocean within us. And, you know, in order for us to explore it and to let all the beautiful qualities manifest, we need to give it some time and to go deep into our own being. And these sessions are really amazing. We have all grown together, isn't it? So we strongly advise you to join us, continue joining the sessions and learn much more, because we are trying to conceptualize beautiful themes, and we are going to go into many more details on how to awaken the chakras and the beautiful qualities within us. So for this purpose, we have this little poll for you, which is this little survey, and we would really appreciate if you would take just a few seconds to fill up this form. It won't take much time, and it will really help us get an idea of where we are standing right now. And also there is a tab for your mobile phone. We would appreciate if you share that with us, because what we want to do is we want to carry on with only one WhatsApp group in which we include all of you who are interested to continue, and that's going to be really helpful to us. If you already filled it up, you don't have to do it again, but if you didn't, we would really appreciate if you do it. So you can find that in the chat as well. I just want to mention that this new series are really open to each and every one of you. So do not worry if you haven't been able to be regular to come every evening. Don't worry if you're still not able to meditate regularly on your own at home. We will make sure that we customize this according to everyone's individual needs, while taking everyone on board on our spiritual journey further. All right, so let's go ahead to introduce the leads for today. Today we are going to talk about the divine qualities of our energy centers, and we've got with us Wendy once again. Many of
Hi,
us
everyone.
are very familiar with her. Hi, Wendy. How are you doing?
Good.
So good to have you with us today.
Thank you.
All right. Wendy, I know that you've been here before, and many of our, of the seekers here would already know you, but would you like to just share a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
To all of those who don't know you yet.
Yes, I live in the Los Angeles area. Very sunny, very temperate. You can all be very jealous. Of course, it's very hot in the summer.
I am jealous.
Okay. And I live with my husband. We've been married 35 years, and I have a son. And I was going to tell you a little story about our son. And we have 3 parrots that are extremely loud. So every time we do this program, we're trying with all of our might and vibrations to keep them quiet during our meditation sessions. But I wanted to tell a little story about our son and Shri Mataji. We went to Delhi, India for the 75th, Shri Mataji's 75th birthday celebration, and we brought our son, and he was 14 months old. And the thing about our son was that he always, no matter where we were, had to go to the front of the room where Shri Mataji was and do everything short of crawling into her lap and being with her. He was incorrigible. There was no stopping him. You couldn't sit in the back of the room and keep him quiet. It was none of that. So we went to this program, and there were 10,000 Saj Yogis, we call them, people who meditate, many of them Indians. And they had put all the people from the Western countries in the front of this giant pendal. And many of the Indians could not even fit inside the tent, but we arrived a bit late. And so they shooed us in under the tent, but we were still in the area with all the Indian men and women, but we were with the men. And usually the women and the men tended to sit separately. So the 3 of us were sort of pushed into the middle of the men's section. And Shri Mataji entered the pendal. It was this big long walkway. And our son saw Shri Mataji, and he said, he put his arms out like this, and he said, "I want to see Shri Mataji." And he's only 14 months old, but this guy could talk sentences at 9 months. So he was able to tell you what he wanted. And there was a beautiful Indian man next to us, and he said, "Well, we can make that happen." And he took Blake, and they handed him from one man to the next man to the next man until he was just a speck over there, way away, because there was at least 2,000 or 3,000 people in this pendal under the tent. And I could see he made it all the way over to where Shri Mataji was, just in time. And she stopped, and she kissed him, and she held his hands, and she held him, and then she went on her way, and they handed him back. It took a while, and he got back to me, and he put his arms around me, and he said, "I kissed Shri Mataji." And I said, "Yes, you did, and I'm surprised." And the thing that was so incredible about it was that obviously I'd never met any of these people who were carrying pretty much my baby around and over to Shri Mataji, and I felt so much like they were my brothers. And I think the way that Blake went from one to the other and felt so happy and so excited was he was feeling like they were his uncles. And I feel like this about all of you who are joining us for meditation. I feel like you're my extended family, and I feel a connection to you and a love for you. So that's why I thought this story, really one big family of people seeking the truth and wanting to have this experience.
That's so beautiful, Wendy. So touching and so joy-giving. Thank you so much. Wonderful. All right. The second lead of today is Archana, and she also happens to be the artist of tonight. Welcome, Archana.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Good. We're all doing great, ready to meditate. Okay, Archana, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, everyone. And I'm Archana. I live in Maine. And my parents introduced me to Sage Yoga when I was 15 years old. So when I came to Sage Yoga, in my family, both my father's and mother's side, nobody was interested ever in Indian classical music. So there was no chance for me to know about Indian classical music. But my first experience after getting realization, it was the Sahasrara celebration in May. And I attended that, and so many yogis from my hometown gathered for this celebration. And all of them, they were singing so beautiful. I just loved the way they were singing, and that was my first experience of hearing the beautiful music. And that time actually sparked the desire within me that I wanted to learn the music. So that time in my heart, I just asked Shri Mataji that, Shri Mataji, I want to learn this music for you. And within a month, I joined the music class, and still I did not find anything interested in classical music. It took me like few years really to be interested and having a beautiful experience about the music when my teacher taught the raga for the left heart. And that time, the qualities of the left heart, the spirit, started manifesting, and that too effortlessly. And that time I realized that how powerful is this Indian classical music, that made me really like calm and peaceful. And I was just like enjoying everything, whatever was coming in my way. I was so content. And then I realized that this is very powerful music.
That's wonderful. Beautiful experience, Archana. Thank you so much. We are really looking forward to listening to your musical offering today and to meditate on it. All right. I hope we are all ready with a Footsoak bucket. So I'll meet you all at the end of the session. Over to you, Wendy.
Awesome. So last night we took a deep dive into the Sahasrara chakra, which is so beautiful. And tonight I wanted to take a few moments to focus on experiencing what we experience when we feel our Kundalini, what we experience when we feel the spirit. I had one of you said something really wonderful, and you said, how do I know that I have my self-realization? And we're going to get into some of these questions of how do we know, and what changes in our awareness and our attention, and what all these words are that we use to really help define them, so that we understand when we're talking about vibrations, what does that mean? When we're talking about our attention and putting our attention somewhere, what does that mean? And just do a little review, and then we're going to have a silent meditation, a longer silent meditation than we've had, because in the end, this is what will help us deepen the most. So let's start out with our Footsoak, and we're going to start by giving it vibrations and giving it a bandhan. I always like to hold my hand over the bucket and wait until I feel cool vibrations. And some of us, it's too early to feel the vibrations. Some of us are not feeling a lot in our hands. That's okay. Still nice to hold the hand there. And now let's put our feet in. Normally we raise the Kundalini first, but I didn't do that. So let's go ahead and raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan. And if you wear glasses, this is a nice time to take a break from your glasses. And let's just take our attention inside. Most of the time, we've really been taught to put our attention outside, but now is our opportunity to take our attention inside. And just watch, just be aware. There's power in watching what's happening without judging. And let's begin by taking a nice deep breath in. Hold it for a few seconds and then exhale. And as we breathe out, we just allow all the stress of our day to be breathed out. So let's do these 3 cleansing breaths together. Now, what is it that we experience when we foot soak? How can we tell that anything is changing within us when we foot soak? Well, people foot soak for different lengths of time. For me, I find 10 minutes is a good length of time. My husband likes to foot soak for half an hour. We've been doing short foot soaks, but the main thing is you can tell that the water is clearing you sometimes because you feel in your feet some tingling. You might feel some energy leaving your feet or being pulled out of your feet. The wonderful thing about a foot soak is there's nothing you can do to stop it from working. So it's great to do things that work regardless of our mental state. And when we sit down first to meditate and to foot soak, it's good to put our awareness on our hands. We may feel cool vibrations coming out of both of our hands. This shows that our channels are balanced. Or we may feel more vibrations in one hand than the other, which shows we need to work a little bit more on that channel. The channel where we don't feel the vibrations in the hand, or where we feel heat in the hand. Now we can step back as if we were watching ourselves from above, sitting in our chair. Any physical discomfort, any tightness in a chakra, if we're having thoughts, we just watch them. without engaging. So let's just take a moment, put our right hand on the right side of our head. Just put our focus very gently on the right side of our brain. We can use our hand to help us focus gently. It's not an intense focus, it's a gentle focus. And we'll just, let's say 4 times together. Mother, I am not these memories, and I am not these conditionings. Mother, I am not these memories, and I am not these conditionings. Mother, I am not these memories, and I am not these conditionings. Mother, I am not these memories, and I am not these conditionings. Mother, I am not these memories, and I am not these conditionings. So we can take our hand down and keep our awareness very gently focused on the right side of our brain. It may be possible for us to relax the chakra. Just allow it to open. Now I'm going to take a moment to talk about what it feels like, what vibrations feel like. What do we mean when we use the word vibrations? If you'd like, you're very welcome to set your Footsoak aside, push it forward. If you're like me and you'd like to Footsoak for a few more minutes, then you can keep your feet in the Footsoak. And right before we start our silent meditation, we will push our Footsoaks to the side. So what do vibrations feel like? I've heard people asking, like, what's the difference between feeling some cool breeze or some hot breeze? And why do we feel cool sometimes and why do we feel warmth? So vibrations are different from a breeze because they're more active. So when I hold my hand above the top of my head, and because for years I've been clearing my Vishuddhi, I am able to feel my Kundalini. But it doesn't feel like a real breeze. It feels very active. And the cool moves around my fingers and moves. It's very alive. Okay, so that's different. And the question of why do we sometimes feel heat? Well, when the Kundalini rises, sometimes the chakras are tight. And when these chakras are tight, the Kundalini comes up and it pushes against them and it tries to make room. And you might feel, one of the ways we feel our Kundalini sometimes is it pulses inside of us at a chakra, and we feel a little pulsing. And that means the Kundalini is trying to open the chakra and trying to push through so that more of the Kundalini can come up. And when that happens, heat is released. There's a bit of friction. So sometimes when we're really growing and we're really clearing, we'll have some heat, and we'll put our hand over the top of our head and we'll feel some heat. Some people are feeling heat because they put their hand too close to their head and they're feeling their body heat. You need to be a little bit above the top of your head to be able to feel the actual cool of the vibrations. There's other words we talk about. We talk about the Kundalini and what she feels like. And the Kundalini is a rope, and it's made of many strands. And when she comes up and we feel it coming out of the top of our head, this is self-realization. And what do we experience when we have our self-realization? Well, if we're deeply into meditation, we experience the first stage, which is thoughtless awareness, and our thoughts stop and slow. But we are actually in a heightened state of awareness, so we may not be thinking, but we're very aware, and all the colors can be brighter, and we are able to think, or we're able to feel our feelings, but we do them from the center, and we have a different experience, and those thoughts are more profound and enlightened, and the feelings are more pure desire, something to do with our spiritual ascent. And we talk about our mother Kundalini, but we also have a reflection of this father quality in us, and that's the spirit here in our left heart. What do we feel when we're feeling our spirit? How does that manifest? One of you I asked a question, when you step back and you watch your thoughts and you watch your feelings, what's watching? Who's watching? And she said, well, that's my spirit. And that's right, it is your spirit. So the spirit is what watches. The spirit is detached. But also, the spirit is joyful. And sometimes when we go really deeply into meditation, we'll feel our spirit like a fountain bubbling with joy. And when we feel that feeling, we're experiencing our spirit. So we go through these meditations and we have a guided meditation. Like when we were having our Footsoak, I felt there was quite a bit of pressure here in the head. So I had you put your hand there. There are several reasons for that. When you put your hand in the area, you're giving it vibrations. You're directing the vibrations there, which helps to clear it. But also you're directing your attention to that place. So when we say we're putting our attention on something, we're just talking about our focus, where we're focusing our attention, where we're focusing our awareness. So when we're working with our attention, we're trying to strengthen our attention. Our attention is a muscle. You're trying to sit and do something in meditation that you've never tried to do before with your awareness, with your attention, and it's amazing. But it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of sitting on your own in silent meditation to strengthen it and strengthen your attention. It's like going to the gym and lifting weights to get stronger. You're strengthening your attention. The seat of your attention is here on the right side between your hip and your stomach, and this is where your liver is, and this needs to be cool and this needs to be clear for you to be able to focus your awareness on anything for any length of time. This is going to get better. So when you're meditating and you're sitting and your attention is at the top of your head and there's a loud sound and your attention is pulled outside, very gently bring the attention to the top of your head It's a gentle focus. The other thing that we do sometimes is we try really hard. Or you see people sitting and meditating, they're like, I'm trying to meditate. And actually what we really want to do is relax. Just relax our body, relax our attention, and get out of our own way and allow it to happen. So now we're going to have a meditation. We'll just, anyone who's still in their Footsoak bucket, we can rinse our feet and dry our feet and just push the bucket aside for now. And we can throw that out later. So for ourselves to go silent, in quiet inside, it really helps when the three top chakras before the sahasrara, the heart in our chest, the vishuddhi in our throat, and the ajna in our forehead, it really helps when these chakras are open, because it allows more of the Kundalini to flow, and then we can go quiet. So we're just going to give a little TLC to each of these chakras, and then we're going to have a nice silent meditation. And if we have thoughts or feelings while we sit silently, we can just watch them go by, like we're sitting in a theater watching them on the movie screen from a distance. If we have a feeling, we can allow it to rise and fall without engaging. So let's put our hand on our heart. And let's just say together 4 times, Mother, I am brave and courageous. 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 And we can move the palm of our right hand to the vishuddhi in our throat. And let's just allow our face to relax. All the muscles on our shoulders, our jaw, and our throat where we swallow, we can just allow it to open. And let's just desire to be part of something whole and complete and perfect and greater than ourselves. And let's allow ourselves to desire to be connected to each other and to feel loved and supported. Now we can take our right hand and put it across our forehead. just allow our head to drop a little bit, to bow. And we'll just say 4 times, I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. 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 So we can just close our eyes and put our awareness at the top of our head. It's a very gentle focus, 4 or 5 inches above the top of our head. And we'll just have a nice silent meditation together, knowing we're all together being quiet. We can bring the photograph of Shri Mataji on the screen. Now, as we're coming toward the end of the silent meditation, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to listen to a wonderful talk with Shri Mataji where she talks about going into the witness state, a state where we are able to watch everything within us from a distance. And she talks about what to do when we're struggling a little bit and how to work with that with Sahaj. So we're going to listen to that talk, and that's wonderful. And then following that, Archana, who's got a lovely voice, is going to teach us the Bija Mantras and explain that the simple sounds of these words help to open the chakras. So we'll go ahead and watch that video now.
Just see, witness. Just seeing itself creates that state within us. The first state is very important. That you become the witness, the sakshi. As soon as you become the sakshi, the whole thing, whatever you are seeing, gives you the complete idea, subtle as well as gross, of that thing. You see it and you know it. And as a Sahajogi, it becomes your knowledge. We can say in the modern terminology that you see something, it gets recorded in your mind and it manifests joy. It manifests knowledge. It manifests compassion, whatever may the situation. Because now you have many dimensions which you have to develop. These dimensions are to be developed. Now supposing you go and meet someone with whom you have to deal. He's talking. Just become thoughtless. So now what is the thing that will happen as soon as you become thoughtless? First, his thoughts, his bombardment will not touch you because you are in a different realm altogether. But in that realm, your power will manifest. It may cool him down, it may shut him down, or maybe he may just feel tremendous love for you. So the word guru means gravity. That the Mother Earth has gravity. In the same, a person who is a guru has to have the gravity. But how do you develop this gravity? Some people just artificially become very grave and sometimes show that they are very serious or something like that. Gravity is within yourself. In the second state, we should say, of Guru Pada, is your gravity must manifest. As you become the witness, your gravity starts expressing itself. It will not show as temper or seriousness or anything like that, but it will manifest in a way that the whole thing will become extremely dignified and majestic. It will just manifest by itself. So the state in which you rise now becomes effective. Before this, it was not. You had to all the time manipulate, say this, say that. But in your silence, you can manifest your gravity. And this gravity is extremely, it acts like a magnet. As you know, there's a magnet in the Mother Earth that we call as the gravity by which people are attracted. We are resting on this Mother Earth because of her gravity. Everything is attracted to Mother Earth because of her gravity. So you get a magnetic temperament, magnetic character, magnetic personality. And this magnetic personality that you develop immediately shows that it is manifesting its power. Try to understand. Like the light now is coming on me. It's just giving light. But it is not manifesting anything. We can see the sun's rays is the best example. Sun's rays, when they fall onto the leaves, the rays, which look simple, manifest their power of making it into chlorophyll. In the same way, when you are at that height or at that state, then without saying anything, without doing anything, even a glance, you manifest. But not only that, but you record everything. So many people must have noticed that I seldom forget things. Like once I was traveling and I saw some red stones near Sangamner. When I said that why not we have some red stones for Pratishthan? They said, but there are no red stones in the whole of Maharashtra. I said, there are? Where? I said, go on the way up, you'll find them near Sangamner. They said, we have traveled so much that we've never seen. I said, I don't know what you are seeing, what you are watching. I have definitely seen. When they went there, they saw mountains and mountains of this red stone. And they never noticed it even. So now, when you start witnessing something without thought, there's no obstruction for absorbing the knowledge about that thing, because there's no thought. Complete absorption takes place. And then it manifests. This is how the divine power works within us. So, with our gravity, what we do is to touch that depth within us which can carry the divine power and manifest. Unless and until we touch that depth within us, Sahaja Yoga is like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Nothing better than that. And that's why I find so many Sahaja Yogis sometimes really go off their rails suddenly, because they have no gravity to go down into their own being and to feel the beauty and the glory of their own being, and to use that gravity for manifesting divine power. We could say that supposing there is a vehicle which is very weak, which is not yet properly fixed, can not be used for something substantial. And the most substantial thing in your lives is this divine power, which looks very light. You never feel the weight of this divine power. You will never feel the pressure of this divine power. But if you are not clean, if your channel is not clean, then this divine power cannot flow properly. It cannot manifest. So when we say that we are the instrument of God Almighty, then like this instrument we are, now we are connected to the mains. If this instrument is not all right, then it cannot manifest whatever it is supposed to do. But we are much above all these ordinary instruments, even the most complicated, even the most advanced and developed by science. Because we reach a state where we ourselves become the science of truth and absolute truth. So what is needed for a guru is self-esteem. This is a very important point people don't realize, the self-esteem. To achieve the self-esteem, we have to introspect and know that today I am not what I was before. I am a realized soul. I have got powers. Of course I have powers. Powers of love, powers of compassion, powers of grasping things, powers of creativity, powers of giving realizations to others. Nobody had these powers. But somehow or other in Sahaja Yoga, we are not self-conscious. And we should not be self-conscious because that can give you ego. But we should have self-esteem. I am a guru. I am a guru. I am not an ordinary person. I am not on the street. I am something special. I am on the shores of truth. I have to salvage the people who are blind, who are mad, all kinds of things. In the most chaotic conditions this world is today. So at that time, a kind of a silence will come within you. When there will be any such crisis, immediately will become extremely silent. But this is again a state I am telling. So now, if there is something that makes you upset or makes you unhappy, try to reach that point, that axis, which is just silence. And this silence will make you really powerful. Because this silence is not only yours. When you are in that silence, you are in the silence of the cosmos. Silence of the cosmos. And the silence of the cosmos works for you. You are in connection with that cosmic power, we can call it, but it's more than that, is divine power, I should say. Divine power which is working all the cosmos also. So if you just become silent within yourself. Know that you are sitting in the kingdom of God.
Let's keep our attention on Sahasrara and absorb the vibrations from Shri Mataji's speech. So before the Bija Mantras, I will sing a song, welcoming song, inviting the Kundalinî, which is the aspect of primordial mother within each of us. So I will just explain the few lines, the meaning. Welcome, Mother. You are in each of our breaths, and you are the master, queen of all the sounds. You are the creator of this universe, and you are the source, giver of spontaneous union. Please bless us, Mother. Please bless us. Welcome, Mother. Swagatam 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 Swagatam, 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 Ma Swagatam, 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 Ma Swagatam. तू ही सांसों में विराजे, तू ही स्वर की स्वामिनी, तूने ही संसार रचाया, सहज योग की दायिनी, दो हमें आशीष माता, दो हमें आशीष माता, स्वागतम मां स्वागतम, 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 स्वागतम मां स्वागतम, स्वागतम मां स्वागतम, स्वागतम मां स्वागतम. So we will start with A, U and Ma, and these are the building blocks of the Om, and this helps in meditation as it activates the Kundalinî channel and chakras, and it helps open the chakras and brings them into balance. So we are going to be using music for that. And all of us, we are going to sing together these Bija Mantras. And Bija means the seed. So it is not going to be a performance kind of singing now. So these Bija Mantras, these sounds, they calm us down. They makes us peaceful and brings us into thoughtless state. So let us bring our attention on the left channel. And the sound activates the power on the left channel, which gives us the comfort and pure desire. So here we can ask, Mother, please purify our emotions and please enlighten our left channel. We'll keep our attention on the left channel and left hand. So we are going to use the air element. We'll take deep breath, and in one breath we are going to say sound all together. So let's take a deep breath. Again. U sounds activates the power on our right channel, which teaches us, counsels us, and gives us a pure knowledge of reality. And here we can ask, Mother, please purify and enlighten our attention and our right channel. And Mother, please bring our actions into balance. So while keeping our attention on the right channel, we'll take a deep breath and we'll say ooh. So let's take a deep breath. Ooh. Again. Ooh. The ma sound activates the central channel, which gives us the higher seeking and spiritual ascent. So here we can ask, Mother, please give us the spiritual ascent. We can take a deep breath and we will say ma sound. Again, one more time, our attention on the central channel. Now we will say Om. With our right hand, we can raise up our Kundalini while we are saying Om and bring it all the way on top of our head. So let's take a deep breath and say Om. Om. Again. Om. Now we are going to sing notes together, very simple sounds, which are the sounds the Kundalini itself makes as it moves through the subtle system. And these sounds are called the Bija Mantras. And Bija means the seed. By saying these Bija Mantras, the qualities of the chakras awaken and begin to act spontaneously within us. Let's bring our attention below the base of the spine, on the Muladhara chakra, on the first energy center. And this chakra has 4 petals. We are going to use the sound lam to bring the Muladhara chakra in balance. So as Muladhara chakra has 4 petals, so in the beginning we'll take a deep breath, and in one breath we will say Om, and 4 times lam, L-A-M, in one breath, and end again with Om, in one breath. So let's take a deep breath. Om. Lam, 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 lam. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please awaken innocence, purity, and wisdom, auspiciousness within us. Now let us raise our attention to the lower part of the abdomen on the Swadhisthana chakra. And this center has 6 petals. So 6 times we are going to say Vam, W-A-M, Vam. So again we are going to begin with Om in one breath. And we are going to break it down 3 and 3 again. Vam. So each time we are going to take a deep breath and end again with Om. So let's take a deep breath. Om. Vam, vam, vam. Vam, vam, vam. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please give us the pure knowledge and pure attention. We can bring our attention on the stomach area, on the Nabhi chakra. Also, it will help if you place your right hand on that chakra, particular chakra. So the Nabhi chakra, the third energy center, has 10 petals. So 10 times we are going to say Ram, R-A-M, Ram. So again we are going to take a deep breath, and in one breath we will say Om. And now we are going to break it down in 5 and 5, Ram sound, and end with Om. So let's take a deep breath. Om. Ram, 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 Ram. Ram, 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 Ram. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please make us peaceful, satisfied, dignified, and generous. We can bring our right hand and attention on the heart, on the center heart. And the heart has 12 petals. So 12 times we are going to say Yam, Y-A-M, Yam. So again, we'll take a deep breath, and in one breath we'll say Om. Now here we are going to break 4 and 4 and 4. So each time we will take a deep breath and we will say Yam, and end again with Om. So let's take a deep breath. Om. Yam, 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 yam. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please give us the sense of security of our spirit. Please allow us to feel your love in our hearts. We can bring our attention and our right hand on the throat, on the Vishuddhi chakra. And the Vishuddhi chakra has 16 petals. So here 16 times we will say hum, H-A-M, hum. So we'll take a deep breath and begin with Om. And we are going to break it down 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 times. So each time we will take a deep breath and we will say hum and end with Om. So let's take a deep breath. Om. Hum, 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 hum. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please make us collective being. Please give us the state of witness. Please kindly stop all our inward and outward reactions. We can bring our hand and attention on the forehead, on the Agya chakra. And we can bend our head down. And this energy center has 2 petals. So 2 times we are going to say Ksham, K-S-H-A-M, Ksham. So we'll take a deep breath and we'll say Om. Then 2 times Ksham and end with Om. Om. Ksham. Ksham. Om. Here we can ask, Mother, please bring us beyond our minds. Please take us beyond these thoughts and our ego and our conditions. And please give us the thoughtless awareness. And finally, we can bring our right hand on the Sahasrara, on the fontanelle bone area. And on the Sahasrara, we are going to use the phrase Om Nirmalam, which means absolutely pure. It is a pure area we are entering. It is the essence, who we are, pure being. So we'll take a deep breath and we'll say Om Nirmalam. Om Nirmalam. Om Nirmalam. Om Nirmalam. You can just raise our right hand few inches above. And see if you can feel cool breeze coming out of the fontanelle bone area. Or you can move it around. Once you feel your attention is settled above the Sahasrara, you can bring your right hand down and just keep attention above the Sahasrara and meditate just a little while. We can thank Shri Mataji to given us the knowledge of Sahaj Yoga. And giving us our self-realization. Slowly we can open our eyes and we can raise our Kundalinî and take Bandhan.
Thank you so much, Archana, for this beautiful meditation and for your beautiful singing as well. And thank you so much, Wendy, as well, for the very powerful Footsoak. I'm sure this was a beautiful session for all of us. Today we are going to have the feedback session as well. But before that, just a couple of announcements. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the divine sounds of the chakras. All right. So do join us tomorrow for this new experience. And as usual, we would like to present to you the resources, which are our website, where you can find all the recorded sessions from day one and the handouts and everything else you need. Also, if you haven't yet filled out the mentor survey form, please do so we can assign you to a mentor. All right, those of you who speak Spanish, please let us know about it. We'll make sure you are well assisted. And there is a beautiful handout that I wanted to present today to all of you, which refers to the location of the chakras in the head. And this happens to, this was made by Shri Mataji herself. And as you can see, you have all the location of the chakras in the head, because the chakras are reflected not only in our palms, as we already know, but also in the head and in our body as well. So if you want to download this, you can. The link is there over there in the chat. All right, and I believe we are ready with the poll right now. All of you are invited to please fill up this very short survey, which will give us an idea about where we are standing right now as we want to start the new session. So all of you are very, very welcome to join the new session, which is going to start on May 1st. The structure is going to be a little bit different, because we are going to only have 3 sessions a week. Those are going to happen on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Sunday when we are going to do the workshop. So it's going to be a very balanced distribution, so to say, isn't it? Because we'll have the chance to enjoy collective meditations, but also to discipline ourselves to meditate in the morning and in the evening, to do our Footsoak and everything. So that's going to really work out our Guru principle as well. So if you haven't yet filled up this survey, please do so, as that's gonna be very, very helpful to us. All right. So we are going to start the feedback session today. So I'm welcoming you all to please raise your hands and do share your experiences and your questions. If you would like to be assisted by an experienced Sahaj Yoga practitioner, please let us know. You can do so in a breakout room. So we'll make sure we'll assign you to a breakout room where you will be able to get individual support if you so wish. All right, so I would like to invite the Q&A panel of tonight. And we are going to be joined by Wendy, but also by 2 other Sahaj Yogis. We are going to be joined by Nika and Gurinder as well. So can we please have them all on the screen? Hello, Gurinder, welcome. And hi, Nika, if you're there, I'm sure you are.
Hi, yes.
Hi. All right, okay. So before we start taking questions, it'd be very nice if one of you would like to share a beautiful experience with us, something that we can all learn from. And why don't we start today with Nika? What would you like to share with us today?
Okay. Actually, just something came to my mind when Wendy was talking about attention. And since we're talking about all these different topics, and when I really realized the strength of my attention, how different it can make where I am, in what kind of state I am. It was actually in 2006 when I was in LA. Shri Mataji was leaving from the airport, and we were so lucky to go and be with her at that time. And it was very joyful. It was really a beautiful experience. Vibrations were flowing, everyone was joyful. And then we were all standing there, and someone brought French fries, and we were just waiting. Shri Mataji was waiting for her flight so she could board, and we were all there. And I was standing there. I had little kids at that time. And the amazing thing happened that when my attention went to, the French fries, everyone chatting and all that, I was in the airport, right, which was busy and all that. And when my attention went to Shri Mataji, who was just there, like a few meters away, I was in this blissful state, like place of complete joy and silence, and the air was thick with vibrations. And then I switched to, like someone would ask you something or offer you French fries or something, so you'd be back to that airport and then back again. And I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't move. I'm right here, but I'm either in this bliss or I'm on the airport. So, but it was easy at that time putting all my focus, my attention on Shri Mataji, because she was also right there. And our Kundalini, like my Kundalini was so strong at that time, and the attention was so strong also. So I had all that help, but I could easily just be with French fries and airport noise and busyness, right? But it was such an amazing experience to see to experience this reality of attention, how it can really make, it can be black or white, your life depends on where your attention is. Yeah, so this is definitely something like a strong experience I had.
Beautiful. That's so significant, isn't it? It's really our choice where we want to be. And I do remember now, Nika, that you mentioned this, that I heard this from Shri Mataji. She mentioned this in a talk. She asked the yogis present there, she asked this question, like, what is the vehicle of Sahaj yogis? Who, she asked this question, and then everyone started thinking. And then she said, the vehicle of Sahaj yogis is their attention. And then I realized it's so true, because, wherever we put our attention, we are in the state of that circumstance, or in that situation. We are there, And I realized it's so true, and it's really our choice. It's just a matter of how strong your attention is and how pure your attention is. And we definitely have the techniques to improve that in our meditation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nika, for this beautiful experience. All right. Are there no questions today? I can't see anyone with their hand up. We would love to hear from you, but if you are enjoying a deep meditation at this moment and you just want to absorb the vibrations of, the feedback session, because we are going to share more beautiful stories. Wendy's here as well, and Gurinder's here as well, then that's fine, But if you have questions, you can raise your hand. Yes, Wendy, please go ahead.
Yeah, I raised my hand, but I don't know how to do that little yellow hand thing. I'm very lame.
Yes.
Yes, so I can just say that I've never experienced the Bija Mantras like that before. I mean, I just went somewhere so beyond my limited self, and I'm really not being very successful to pull myself back out of that, and it's very possible that that everybody who's meditating with us is also profoundly silent.
Exactly. So if that's the case.
Yeah, and there's just one thing the main thing I wanted to actually communicate, of course I didn't during the meditation. It's funny, it takes on a life of its own. You're in front of the camera, and and sometimes not everything that you'd hope to say comes out. I just wanted to say that what Shri Mataji was getting at in that talk that's so meaningful is that when we have a time when we are lost, when we can't figure out the solution to things and we're overwhelmed, what do we have to hold on to that's always there? And that is our Kundalini and our spirit and the silence that we can have with it. And I had one of those weeks. I had a week where everything in my life was an unsolvable problem. And everything was in motion, and I couldn't tack even. I'm very disciplined, so when I get one thing working right, I'm okay. I just focus on that. Like Nika was saying, I put my attention on that. I couldn't find one thing that was going right or that looked like it was solvable. And then I went back to the very 101, Sahaja Yoga 101. Go inside, surrender, find the quiet, feel your Kundalini, let your spirit shine. And then I was okay. Then all that lack of discipline, when you're overwhelmed, you've lost your mental discipline, right? And I felt like that. And I just wanted to say that no one can ever take away this Kundalini. It's yours. And no one can ever take away this spirit. It's yours. And the silence is yours. And it's always there to hold on to during your most difficult moments, like at the end of Mother's talk, she says, when you're having a hard time, look for the silence. So anyway,
Beautiful.
there was a lot of words and there was no time, and I think I went over my allotted time. This is the first time I haven't watched the clock and actually tried to stick to the time, so I'm sure I didn't, but
Yeah,
just wanted you to know.
we're just beyond time, isn't it? It
Yeah.
just happens. But that's a very powerful message you gave to all of us, Wendy. Thank you so much. All right. So, okay, as there are no questions from the participants, Gurinder, would you like to share something with us?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying these vibrations and these lovely stories. And of course, like the Bija Mantras were so good. So trying to come back to think of something. Yeah, like one experience which I have, which I'd like to share, which will help some people, is that in the beginning, like I was all the time trying to do this and do that, and all that effort I was putting into it, it really wasn't helping me to come to the level of thoughtless awareness, because my focus was on the process, and I wanted to do it right, as I've learned. I wanted to do it right. I wanted to get the best results and things like that. Then one day I was meditating with another gentleman, and from that gentleman, I learned that I have to rise above this level where I think that I'm making an effort and just let it go. So that was the time when I started to do real meditation, instead of just trying to balance myself or doing some process. I realized that when after basic balancing, I would just let it go and just go into that thoughtless and that peaceful state. That was the best moment of my meditation every time. So just wanted to share it with everyone.
Wow, very beautiful. So this is such a beautiful example of how practically we can use the meditative state, the meditation, which is really the highest state of our awareness, to just invite the divine power to take over our life and to work out everything. That's so beautiful, Gurinder, beautiful. All right, I would say this was a beautiful session because the vibrations were so strong, and the meditation and the Footsoak and the Bija Mantra session. And I believe all of us are enjoying still the meditative state. If there are no questions, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean that we are not. Oh, for some reason, Okay, someone just prompted me that there are actually participants having their hand up. I'm sorry, I somehow I'm not able to see that. If you just give me a second to try to figure that out. I couldn't see anyone raising their hand. Sorry for that.
Could I tell a little story while you figure that out?
I think I've got it figured out.
You've got it, okay.
But yes, we are waiting for your story, Wendy, for sure. All right.
We'll later. Let's do the questions.
Let's take some questions first. Sorry if all of you have been waiting. I'm really sorry about that. All right. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. It's not a question that I have, but just one thing that I wanted to say. I'm not sure. I've been in such a state right now, thoughtless awareness, that I don't even know if this was said during this time tonight. But Shri Mataji said before that the word Bīja means seed. So when we say the Bija Mantras, it really kind of helps us to get to the whole root of the problems that we're having with our chakras. So I feel more on that. I feel tonight that a lot of the problems that I've been having with my chakras have either been worked out on a more subtle level, or the process has begun to help work them out. So thank you, Shri Mataji.
Thank you, Shri Mataji. Right. And thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah.
All right. So I can see iPhone 1.
Jai Shri Mataji, Kalawati,
Jai Shri Mataji,
and
hello.
everybody. Hello. I just wanted to say it was a so powerful meditation today. I mean, it just, the Bija Mantra, the whole session, it just took us to a whole new level. The Shri Mataji's talk today, right? Is it possible for you guys to share that?
I'm sure it is. Sure. We can request the team to share it in the chat for all of us.
Absolutely. It is a talk that actually, and I'm not someone who finds talks, but I found that talk because it was so moving, because she was explaining what to do when you feel lost, and how to use your attention to work through it. And it was very meaningful and helpful to me. So we'll find a way to share that, right?
Yeah. And I mean, whenever all of her talks, it relates to the situation and the day that you go through. Today was the most chaotic day at work for me, very stressful. I tried to raise my Kundalinî and try to bring that silence within me, but it did not work for some reason throughout the day. But after this meditation is something that, especially the Bija Mantra, it just brought us to that next level and to that silence. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. All right, let's take the next question. Hello, Carolina.
You guys are very dedicated, and I love the transparency. I'm sorry I cannot share a video. I'm in my desktop most of the time.
That's okay.
So that's why. But I also enjoyed the talk. I enjoyed the talk very, very much. But today in particular was a very interesting talk, because I can relate what Wendy said, that you know, there are these moments that you're completely lost and nothing really is working. And it's kind of a reminder that you have this power within you. And she mentioned that when you place that attention, I don't recall the talk very well, but I believe is that when you're focused enough, you gain that, I don't know what is that you gain, but you become sort of magnetic. So you don't have to act, you don't have to request or demand for things, but in a silence, you start manifesting these things. And I find that quite appealing because I find myself being very misunderstood, even though I'm trying to convey the proper masses and the best interest of everyone and other people, but sometimes it's not taken that way. So that kind of lead to confusions and things of that sort. And I would like that very much, just within no acting and with my own silence, being able to draw what is the best interest for everyone. So I don't know if I made myself clear. This might be an example of that I'm not very well understood.
No, I think you are actually. Don't worry about that. So, do you actually have a...
I didn't formulate a question. I kind of put a premise on it, but the question will be more, how you can achieve that level? I know, I'm not assuming it's a short path or a shortcut to it, to become magnetic and start manifesting. We don't have to demand for things. But how do you actually expedite the process? What is that is required? And maybe if you can expand more in her talk, that will be enough, because I don't really have a particular question. I would like to just to understand better how these work.
I understand, sure. So Nika, would you like to comment on this?
Yes. Yeah, so you know, really what is there is continue practicing, continue sitting down for meditation. This magnetism in itself is usually the strength of the first chakra. But, you know, all these chakras open, all that flow of vibrations is there. And then your attention becomes better. Everything builds up, right? So this, you said also sometimes if I got it right, you can't communicate in the way that people would get what you mean. And, you know, this could be Vishuddhi and all that. So overall, this magnetic personality and the strength of your attention, of your Kundalini, the connection itself, right, works in a way that what Shri Mataji was saying, that things just work out for you. Your attention just ends up in the right place. You just say things in the right way, and you know, and not that for me personally, I can say from my experience, not that it happens all the time. I still have better and worse days and all that, but for sure, this is such a big improvement in life. You know how your intuition acts and all that stuff. So the way we can communicate with others, all that, and also how people take us, how they like us, enjoy us more, all comes with that. And I don't like shortcut is dedication and honesty in meditation, I would say, and just keep doing it.
Yeah, what I was referring to the shortcut is, you know, I formulated the question wrong, because what I was thinking was more, do you need to develop the chakras or purify your chakras in reality from the Muladhara to the Ajna or to the Sahasrara, and in that sequence, or can you have some sort of blockages in the lower chakras and be slightly more receptive and more open and clean in the upper chakras? So that was more like the question, because I feel that my Muladhara, my lower chakras, has been rather very impure in the last 2 years. Has been years of uncertainty and so many changes in my life that it really put me out of center of security and all these other things that are kind of related with the lower chakras. But I feel that my intuition and other things are quite attuned in many other ways. I might be wrong, but that's how I feel it.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, this is, you see, you learn for yourself also, and there's do you have a mentor? They can help you feel where the blockages are. They're specific. You can target your meditation. You can target the cleansing. And overall, the whole thing strengthens also, right? So, yeah, Wendy.
Sure, Wendy.
Just jump.
I just wanted to quickly say that you're not your chakras. You're the spirit. You're beyond your chakras, and you don't need to focus your attention on your weaknesses all the time. Like you can focus on your strengths. And when you do that, you build on your strengths. And when you're around someone who has a very positive attention because they make you feel good, like a good person. And you need to do that for yourself with your attention. Focus on the good in you, focus on your Kundalini, focus on your spirit, and your chakras will all work out because it all happens spontaneously. The Kundalini's busy, she's running around, she's fixing everything, and you don't need to worry about it.
I understand. Thank you so much, Wendy. That's actually very revealing, because I think Mataji said that it's like you have to have self-esteem, no ego. Realize that you are your own guru, that you are your own master. So yeah, it's not for me to actually do the job of cleaning the chakras per se, but kind of hosting a proper space or proper mental state for the Kundalini to actually take care of that. Did I understand that correctly?
Sounds good. I'm still sort of really full of vibrations from that meditation. I can't, the thing is that for me in that meditation, you were talking about your Vishuddhi. I talk too much, I'm a talker. And so I have a bit of right Vishuddhi that's always needing to clear. And during that meditation, there was just this incredible thing going on in my right Vishuddhi. And now, since you started talking, I've been, sort of feeling my right Vishuddhi and coughing a little bit, and I feel something's working out. But, I don't need to actually worry about it. I don't need to put my attention on it. We all have chakras. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. And we're all worthy of being loved. And we should love ourselves, right? I mean, we should be kind to ourselves and patient and give ourselves time to grow. I mean, it's only been a few weeks, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carolina, for your question. All right, so we are going to take the last question of today, and then we are gonna eagerly listen to Wendy's experience as well. Okay, hi Jasmine, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So what is your question?
I first wanted to just thank everyone, all of the leads of today. The meditation was great. It's actually two parts. So firstly, I did want to know if there would be any type of resource for the Bija Mantras, or if it's possible to get some type of resource for them, just so that we know like which affirmations go with which chakra. And then secondly,
sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a great idea. I'm not sure we have it. Oh yeah, there's a handout ready right in the chat, so you can get it from there.
Perfect. All right, thank you. Secondly, it makes me feel good to hear that I'm not the only one who's like struggling with my attention, like to hear it from you experienced Sahaj yogis and to know that it's something that you had to work through too. I think if I'm not mistaken, Wendy spoke on it the last time she was the lead, but in the beginning it's like magical and it just like clicks. And that was my experience. It just seemed like my attention, like I didn't have to work hard have to work hard to really try to focus in on the meditation and just clear my thoughts. Whereas, I don't know, like the last week or so, it's just been a struggle. And I do feel myself like working hard And I know that I shouldn't be doing that. So I just wanted to find out if you guys had any feedback. I know about like the ice packing. I know the benefit of like a cool versus a warm foot soak, but I wanted to know if there was any other advice you might have for myself or anyone else who's experiencing difficulty clearing their thoughts and maintaining pure attention.
Sure, that's such a good question. Okay, anyone of you, the leads, would like to take this? Yes, Wendy, sure.
All right, so I've brought this up twice, and mainly because I've been mentoring one-on-one and group mentoring about 20 people. And out of those people, everyone is feeling like you. Like the first 21 days were just, they were in this grace, and they were just so, they were taken to the top of the mountain. And now what's happened is the time for us to master ourselves and to learn how to find that silence inside of us, which is why we sat for a long silent period. And you may have been able to go quiet or not, but it was more like, this is what you need to do, to spend some time sitting quietly and watching what happens inside yourself and finding the space to go quiet. And many of you are feeling this right now, and this is natural. This is okay. This is part of growing. This is part of mastering it. So I would say, don't worry. Sit, give yourself a chance to be silent, and watch what's happening inside. And if you're thinking, just watch the thoughts, don't engage. And if you're having feelings, allow it to rise and fall. You know? And then you, when that slows down and you go into the thoughtless state, then you can put your attention on your spirit, and eventually your spirit will take you back to the top of the mountain, and you'll be just bubbling with this wonderful, joyful peace inside of you. And it will happen. But you've got to, it's like playing an instrument, really. You have to play your scales. And when you sit down for silent meditation, you're building a stage and a platform for something magical to happen on. And it's not going to happen if you don't sit and find the time to put your attention inside and give yourself the space, you know?
Thank you. As a musician, that scale metaphor really resonates with me. So I will take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you so much, Wendy. I just wanted to make a correction over here. So the handout, the Bija Mantras handout is not yet ready in the chat, but it will be there tomorrow. All right, so you will all be able to get it tomorrow. Okay, so Wendy, would you like to help us conclude the session with your beautiful experience? So we can all just really open our hands and just absorb the vibrations, because these are going to be the last minutes of our session today. So let's make that very meditative, and let's absorb the vibrations of what Wendy is going to share with us.
Well, I'm from a very straightforward family, and pretty much every chance that I've been lucky enough to have to be with you and share something has all been about, let's roll up our sleeves and work this thing out and the nitty gritty. But actually, when I put my attention on like the most amazing moment of my life, like my husband was telling his story, the most amazing moment was when he got his realization, and Shri Mataji came and held his hands, and he had an experience that was beyond. And so what happened for me, interesting you're talking about music, because I started out the first part of my life as a professional musician, as a violinist, and I had an injury that stopped me from playing before I came to Sahaj. It was so severe that I couldn't open and close my hand, which, as you can see now, I can do. And within 2 months of doing Sahaj, this hand, which I'd been told by all the experts was never going to work again, began to work. And the first time I met Shri Mataji, I performed for her a flute piece of flute music. I didn't own a violin anymore because I thought I couldn't play it. The next day, she had arranged through my parents, who are very kind people, to send me a violin. So in the mail the next morning after I met her and played for her for the first time, I had a violin. So, and she said, bring it to India. So we went on what was an India tour, and Shri Mataji was very sweet. She liked to have the Westerners come up on stage with her and perform like a proud mother, you know, like to say, here are these Westerners, and they are singing Indian songs, and they're imbibing your culture, and she liked that feeling of collectivity, of the whole world being one. And so we had a tour, I think it was 6 weeks long. And Shri Mataji started this thing where she would ask me to come and sit next to her while she sat and waited for the people from the village to arrive. And so there was this one night that was just beyond anything imaginable. It was quite a large village. I would say maybe 7,000 or 8,000 people filled a hillside. And for about a month, I'd been sort of coming out and sitting next to Mother, and she would chat to me, you know, if you can imagine that. It was small talk, you know, like, and at first I was very self-conscious. I was like, I'm chatting with Shri Mataji. What should I say? You know, she would eat her snack and have her tea, and there was no one else by her, and she just chatted for about half an hour. And then eventually my self-consciousness went away, and I just felt very at ease and at home. And what she would do is she had her microphone. So she would talk, and then at the end she'd have us play music, and she would take her microphone and put it over for me to play the violin into and adjust it for me. It was like crazy, right? You know? And so this night, it was nighttime, and the stage was very bright. And they had filled the stage with these white flowers. I'm sure Indian peoples would know the name, but very strong, like narcissus, like the strongest smell you can imagine from a flower. So it was already like, you were just high off of this beauty of this smell. And Shri Mataji gave realization. And at the end, she would have everyone raise their hands to show that they felt it. And 8,000 people, put their hands up, and there was all these vibrations. And then Shri Mataji had us play the music. So it was already like tonight, like the Bija Mantras took us beyond. And so we started playing the music, and then somehow spontaneously, hundreds of little children, between I think the ages of 4 and maybe 9, they all came down to the front area of the stage, which was cleared right in front, and they were dancing. And I've never felt anything like it. It was really like heaven on earth. It was like what we can be for each other. It was like what we are really as human beings, was this joy. And I don't know, I just wanted to share that moment because I was transported to some place that I hope everyone gets a chance to go, feeling part of something truly enormous and very sparkly.
Beautiful. Amazing, Wendy. Thank you so much. It's just it's almost like we are there, experiencing what you experienced. That's really beautiful. So on this meditative note, we are going to end today's session. Do join us tomorrow for yet another beautiful session. And I may just feel like being here for a few more moments, but I'm just going to say goodbye to all of you and see you all tomorrow. Thank you again to the leads and to the musician and to all of you who joined us today. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you.